Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
List of unidentified decedents in Texas. Harris County, John Doe, 1961. On December 17, 1961, the decomposing remains of a middle-aged or elderly white man were found in heavy underbrush on the shore of Sims Bayou in Houston, Harris County. He had accidentally drowned, and investigators suspected that he may have been a victim of Hurricane Carla. He was estimated to be between 50 and 60 years old, was between 5 feet 6 and 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighed between 135 and 145 pounds. He had short, thin, brown hair with hints of graying. He also may have been a heavy drinker, and appeared to be suffering from arthritis in his lower back. He was found wearing tan, khaki pants, a sweatshirt, and a green polo shirt. The area in which he was found was an area frequented by transients, and was one of the affected areas of the hurricane. Harris County, Jane Doe, 1976. A black female was found alive on the side of I-10 on September 30, 1976, in Houston. She was taken to a hospital where she later died due to an undisclosed cause. The woman was 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed 135 pounds and had black hair and brown eyes. She was clothed, wearing a green turtleneck sweater, a flannel shirt that was blue, a matching pair of jeans, pink underwear and brown shoes. Her ears were pierced, yet she wore only one earring. A ring with a turquoise stone accompanied with a second ring were among her jewelry. She was between 25 and 35 years old at the time of her death. The woman had seen a dentist before her death, as fillings were observed in her mouth. Mesquite, John Doe. On June 3, 1977, a young white man was struck and killed by a car in Mesquite, Dallas County. He was estimated to be between 20 and 30, was approximately 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed between 160 and 170 pounds. He had long, light brown hair and brown eyes. During autopsy he was found to have an enlarged heart and may have suffered from heart murmur during life. He was found wearing a tan print t-shirt, a pair of blue jeans, and a pair of brown moccasins. He was also carrying a reddish-colored guitar. He also may have been traveling with a dog. Harris County, John Doe, 1979. A young Hispanic man was found deceased near a highway on April 28, 1979, in Houston. He had died a short time before, but was not recognizable because he had suffered severe wounds of an unknown nature. He was between 15 and 20 years old and was between 5 feet 4 minus 5 feet 8 inches tall at a weight between 135 and 145 pounds. His hair was dark and he had a mustache. He wore an orange shirt, black pants and boots. He had scars on his hip and arm, from a burn and vaccination, respectively. A scar on his knee was also located. El Paso County, Jane Doe. On October 27, 1979, a Hispanic Asian woman was struck by a vehicle in El Paso County. She was estimated to be between 25 to 30 years old, stood at 4 feet 10 inches 5 feet and weighed 115 to 125 lbs. She had black hair, brown eyes and an olive complexion, which was consistent with the estimation of her race. She was wearing a black blouse with red, orange, light blue and purple dots, a white bra, black pants and nylon stockings. Matagorda County, John Doe. On June 28, 1980, the skeletal remains of a young white man were found in a ravine by campers in Blessing, Matagorda County. He was estimated to be between 16 and 28 years old, was between 5 feet 9 and 6 feet 1 inch tall, and weighed between 120 and 140 pounds. He had brown curly hair. Eye color could not be ascertained. He was found wearing a pair of blue jeans, a blue t-shirt with "Old Fords Never Die" imprinted on the front, a pair of white jockey shorts, a leather belt, a pair of white socks and a western-styled cowboy hat. A pair of single-lens prescription eyeglasses were also found near the body. Chambers County, Jane Doe. On July 22, 1980, the body of a young white woman was found on the side of a road in Chambers County. She had been struck by a vehicle on the same day. She was estimated to be between 20 and 30 years old, was approximately 5 feet 3 inches tall, and weighed approximately 103 pounds. She had shoulder-length brown hair and brown eyes. She also had striatum marks on her right hip and tit areas. Clothing items were not initially recorded by investigators. Jersey Village John Doe. A man's body was found on November 15, 1982, in Jersey Village, Harris County. He was between 30 and 40 at the time of his death when he was hit by a vehicle and subsequently succumbed to his injuries. He had 6 inches brown hair, blue eyes and was 5 feet 3 inches tall at a weight of 116 pounds. He had received medical care when he was alive, as stitches were found under his right eye. The man also had scars on his chest, legs and hip. His clothing consisted of a green jacket, a shirt decorated with green and black squares, an undershirt, jeans, mismatched socks, brown gloves and cowboy boots. Harris County Jane Doe, 1983. A Hispanic or possibly Asian female was struck and killed by a moving vehicle on 7500 Katy Freeway on March 1, 1983, in Houston. She was between the ages of 22 and 28 at the time of death. The woman was between 5 feet 6 and 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed 126 pounds. Her hair was black and her eyes were brown, and she had crude tattoos on her body, of a cross in the letters Z, or N, C, and P, accompanied with some dots. She wore a green shirt with matching socks, blue jeans, a pink bra and white shoes. In a tan purse she carried a plaid shirt, several papers and a comb were found. It is possible that her first name was Mary. Harris County John Doe, 1984. On December 28, 1984, the body of a young African-American man was found in Brays Bayou in Harris County. He had died as the result of an accidental drowning a few hours prior to being found. He was estimated to be between 20 and 30 years old, was approximately 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed between 180 and 195 pounds. He had black hair and a small goatee, as well as brown eyes. He also had a 1-inch scar on his outer right shoulder. He was found wearing a gray sweatshirt, a pair of light green undershorts, a pair of brown loafers with yellow bands across the tongue, and 8 pairs of socks. Dallas County John Doe. On May 2, 1986, a young white man was found hanging in his hotel room at the La Casita Hotel in Dallas, Dallas County. He had committed suicide. He was estimated to be between 20 and 25 years old, was approximately 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighed 154 pounds. He had dark blonde or light brown hair and blue or gray eyes. He also had light freckling on his face. He was found wearing a white JCPenney t-shirt, a pair of Gap Pioneer blue jeans, a black cloth army-style belt, a pair of white JCPenney jockey shorts, a white metal linked chain necklace with a white and black metal pendant, a black Casio digital watch and an empty brown billfold with the initials, PJK, on it. The man had used the name, John Smith, when checking into the hotel, and had told employees that he was from New York City and had cancer. Oh, I thought it read that he was a dancer. Harris County John Doe, 1987. On June 4, 1987, the body of a young to middle-aged Hispanic man was found in the Houston Shipping Channel at Wharf 17 in Houston. He had died of an accidental drowning a day prior to being found. He was estimated to be between 30 and 40 years old, was approximately 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighed between 115 and 125 pounds. He had medium-length black hair and brown eyes. He had not had any dental work during his life. He was found wearing a long-sleeve blue or gray, Aster 1, brand t-shirt, a pair of blue, Danny Sedell, brand sweatpants with a white stripe down each leg, a pair of gray pants, and a pair of gray suede, Quince, brand lace-up shoes. He was also found carrying 38 cents in his pocket. Nueces County John Doe. On March 16, 1990, the skeletal remains of a young white or Hispanic man were found on the sand dunes of Mustang Island State Park in Nueces County. He had been deceased for anywhere between a few months or 2 years. He was estimated to be between 17 and 25 years old, and was approximately 5 feet 4 inches tall. He had brown hair. Weight and eye color could not be ascertained, although he was noted as having a very small build. He was found wearing a pair of Spalding brand swim trunks and a button-down shirt. A silver medallion was also found bearing an image of Saint Benedict holding a cross in one hand and the book of his rule in the other, with the words, Crux est Patris Benedicti, the cross of the Holy Father Benedict, and, Aegis in obitu nostro praesentia munimer, may his presence protect us in the hour of death, around the image on one side. The other side of the medallion had a cross with letters standing for various Catholic sayings in Latin. Tarrant County, John Doe, 1997. On February 2, 1997, the skeletal remains of a teenage African-American boy or young man were found under a tree in a ravine, just north of I-30 in Fort Worth, Tarrant County. A barrel was found nearby and a clothesline cord fashioned into a noose was found hanging from the tree. The young man was estimated to be between 15 and 20 years old, was between 5 feet 5 inches and 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed 140 pounds. He had black hair. He was found wearing a blue cotton shirt with a multicolored design, black Levi jeans, boxer shorts, a pair of black Nike basketball shoes and a watch with a woven metal band painted gold. The area in which the decedent was found was described as being, not entirely secluded, but remote enough where it was not frequented. A comparison with missing persons reports from the area did not provide any clue to the Doe's identity. Tickle me asshole. Fort Bend County, John Doe. On December 17, 2000, the scattered skeletal remains of a young Hispanic man were found by a horseback rider in an open field in Needville, Fort Bend County. He was estimated to have been deceased for between 3 to 9 months. He was estimated to be between 17 and 23 years old and was between 5 feet and 5 feet 6 inches tall. He had dark brown hair. Weight and eye color could not be ascertained. He had a healed fracture on his tailbone and may have had a vitamin deficiency during life. Clothing found included a pair of blue jeans, 2 green shoelaces tied together, a black cloth bracelet with a Guess brand logo, a purple cloth bracelet, and a pair of brown suede Pele brand sneakers. Recent testing found that he may have been from Guatemala or southern Mexico. Harris County, John Doe, 2002. On November 5, 2002, a Hispanic male was witnessed playing chicken with traffic on Route 225 in Houston, where he would step in and out of traffic before he was eventually struck. LOL. He was later taken to Memorial Hermann Hospital where he was pronounced dead. He was estimated to be between 35 and 50 years old, was between 5 feet 8 and 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighed between 195 and 205 pounds. He had short dark brown hair and a mustache-goatee combo, as well as various scars along his body and a mole on his right cheek near his mouth. He was wearing a white t-shirt, denim pants and tan boots. Police submitted fingerprints of the victim to multiple police agencies throughout Texas, with no matches. They are now submitting his fingerprints to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, as he was possibly from outside of the United States. Farmers Branch, John Doe. On October 30, 2007, the body of a young Hispanic man was found in an open field, 100 yards away from the side of a road in Farmers Branch, Dallas County. He had died on the same day he was found through unknown means. He was estimated to be between 17 and 30 years old, was between 5 feet 4 inches and 5 feet 7 inches tall, and weighed 168 pounds. He had black hair styled in a mohawk and brown eyes. His ears had been pierced and he had circular scars on the anterior and posterior of both of his forearms and legs. He also had a tattoo of a barcode that read out, 080387. He was found wearing a black and blue, Iron Fist, sweatshirt, a Reebok red shirt with, New Jersey, and, Jason Kidd, printed on the front, black, Athletic Works, brand jogging pants, a pair of red Converse sneakers, a square earring with a clear stone in the right ear, a gold metal bead necklace and a cloth band with a wingding around the left ankle. Tarrant County, John Doe, 2008. On October 22, 2008, the skeletal remains of a middle-aged to elderly man was found at a homeless camp in Fort Worth. The man was estimated to be between 40 and 60 years old, and was between 6 feet and 6 feet 4 inches tall. Hair color, eye color, and weight could not be ascertained. The man was found to be missing all of his teeth, and he had various healed fractures on his body. His right foot had also been amputated, most likely close to the man's death. He also had a metal fragment wedged in his right hip. Clothing was too decomposed to be further specified on, however a notebook with a series of handwritten notes was found with the man. Harris County Jane Doe, 2009. On December 29, 2009, a young white woman was struck by a car while crossing a street in Houston. She was estimated to be between 25 and 35 years old, was 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed 147 pounds. She had long brown hair and pierced ears. Eye color was not stated. She also had a colored Mickey Mouse tattoo on her left ankle. She was brought to the hospital nude, however reports from EMS at the scene state that she was wearing an Elkins high school jacket at the time of the accident as well as a yellow metal hoop earring with a cherub sitting on the hoop. Tarrant County John Doe, 2011. On November 14, 2011, the skeletal remains of a young white man were found in a wooded area near a residential development in Fort Worth. He had been at the location for approximately 2 years. He was estimated to be between 20 and 35 years old. Height, weight, hair color and eye color could not be ascertained. Clothing found included the remains of a pair of Levi Strauss jeans, a Hanes brand sock, a Massimo shirt with yellow plastic applique, the elastic waistband of a pair of underwear, and a pair of Sears brand shoes that were found to have been sold between 2005 and 2006.